Have you ever wondered how Dick came to be short for Richard? Well, wonder no more. The name Richeard is thought by most etymologists to derive from the Proto-Germanic Rikharthu, meaning more or less hard ruler, Rik meaning ruler and harthu meaning hard. This was adopted into Old High German as Ricohard, and from there to Old French and then Old English as Richeard, and today as Richeard. You might think from Richeard meaning hard ruler and being a man's name that Dick being a nickname for Richeard probably came about for pejorative reasons, borrowing from one of the other meanings of dick, such as dick as in jerk or dick as in penis. However, the first record of Dick meaning jerk didn't come about until a few hundred years after its association with Richeard, and the first record of it referring to a penis wasn't until the 1890s as a British Army slang term. Exactly how that latter meaning came about isn't known, being a slang term that was considered somewhat uncouth to put on paper. Because of that, Dick meaning penis probably had been around for a while before the 1890s, but not nearly long enough before to have contributed to the Richeard-Dick connection. How Dick became a nickname for Richeard is known and is one of those knee bone connected to the thigh bone type progressions, somewhat similar to how the word soccer came about, originally a name developed by British schoolboys, shortening association football to a-soccer and then to just soccer or sometimes soccer football. Due to people having to write everything by hand, shortened versions of Richeard were common, such as Rick or Rich. This in turn gave rise to nicknames like Richie, Rick, and Rickett, among others. People also used to like using rhyming names, thus someone who was nicknamed Rich might further be nicknamed Hitch. Thus Richeard to Rick with a K gave rise to nicknames like Dick and Hick around the early 13th century. While few today call Richards Hick, the nickname Dick has stuck around and of course has come to mean many other things as well. Its persistence as associated with Richeard is probably in part because around the 16th century Dick started to be synonymous with man, lad or fellow, sort of a general name for any Tom, Dick or Francis, which by the way appears in Shakespeare's Henry IV, written in the late 16th century, with Dick at this point firmly established as an everyman name. It may well be that this association with man is in turn how Dick eventually came to mean penis. People with the name Robert are also called Bob via much the same process as people who are named Richeard being called Dick, namely Robert to Rob and then the rhyming nickname Bob. Similarly, this is how we get Bill from William, William to Will, rhyming with Bill. Polly likewise comes from the name Molly, and the list goes on and on and on. Incidentally, Dick also once popularly meant an assertion, announcement or declaration, such as, "I do dick, Mr. Beauregard, you are my hero." Similarly, someone's dying dick meant something completely different in the Middle Ages as it would now, namely their dying declaration. So I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please do give us a like below and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you enjoyed it, why not check out some of our other videos which are over there on the right, and thank you for watching.